Welcome to The Read Along,
a mini book club for your ears.
I'm your host, Scott.
I'm your other host, Anita.
And join us on a journey through a good book,
one chapter at a time.
Do you like talking about movies? Do you like talking about mediocre movies? Do you like talking about how you could have fixed mediocre movies? Well, I certainly do, and you can listen to me, Scott C. Bourgeois, along with my co-hosts Greg Beaver and Liam Creswick, as we give our notes, and I have some notes. You can follow it now on your podcatcher of choice, or support it by visiting patreon.com/IHaveSomeNotes. It is fall, officially.
Officially?
Yep.
Oh, yes, officially.
At time of recording, fall has fallen.
We have had the autumnal equinox.
Indeed. Fall being one of the superior seasons,
Agreed.
In my opinion. Not generally the kind of gross that spring is around here. Generally not too hot, not too cold, kind of comfortable. The leaves turn beautiful for 6 minutes before the wind blows them off.
But those 6 minutes are great.
But it's a fabulous 6 minutes. Also, some of the best holidays. Not all the best holidays, some of the best holidays.
I think you're just saying that because your birthday is soon.
Famously one of the holidays that falls in the fall.
Yes, exactly.
One of the 3 holidays that make October the best month.
My birthday doesn't count?
Your birthday's not in October.
No, my birthday's in the fall.
Yes, but I was specifically referring to the 3 holiday October.
Oh, very well.
Which has my birthday,
and then Thanksgiving.
Canadian Thanksgiving, the superior Thanksgiving. Controversial take. And then you got your Halloween.
Which is arguably the best holiday.
Yeah. The reason why I say that Canadian Thanksgiving is the superior Thanksgiving is American Thanksgiving falls too close to Christmas.
I agree. Way too close.
It's way too close to Christmas. You need to back it up, put it in October.
Spread out that turkey a little.
Spread out those feasts. Exactly. Got it all backwards. Got to do it right. Anyway.
No argument from me.
Yeah. At any rate, we celebrate the fall by continuing to read our new book. We're into the 3rd chapter, so shall we get into that?
I think so.
Indeed. So let's begin with a brief recap of Chapter 2 of our novel, in which Gav has a Zoom meeting with his boss, which goes about as well as can be expected, and then a dinner with a princess, which goes about as well as can be expected.
All things considered.
Yeah, and then after an exhausting day, time for a little sleepy sleep. And a sleep is basically where he spends the in-between Chapter 2 and 3, because he's awakening from weird dreams as we get into Chapter 3 of Dreadful by Caitlin Rozakis.
Yeah, weird dreams indeed.
Indeed.
Like, it feels like a cross between a memory and a nightmare.
Yeah.
But because he doesn't remember it, it's just mostly nightmare that feels familiar.
Yeah.
You know?
Like he's being bullied.
Right?
By kids who are clearly better off than him. Like he mentions at one point he's decidedly shoeless, and that stands out from the kids who are picking on him.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a metaphor or not.
Or if it's like an actual one-to-one memory.
Right? Like it might be.
Being regurgitated into sleep. But anyway, it does eventually devolve into dream logic nonsense, because then the giant bird skeleton is the one who's picking on him. And then it all kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
And he wakes up like tangled up in his sheets with Grey Beetle knocking on the door going, you okay in there? And he's like, yeah, no, I'm fine.
Shut up, go away.
What he does decide right off the bat is he needs to learn more about what's going on.
Yes.
And so he devotes the first part of the day to throwing on some clothes, heading down to the lab, and trying to pore through notes and figure out what is going on.
Yeah, he devotes, I think, most of the day, it says, to
certainly a goodly portion of it, yeah.
Reading. Finding things, reading things, research and study, which realistically, if you've lost your memory, that's not a bad way to go, right?
Now, the downside is, turns out that Gavrax the Terrible or whatever was not big on personal journaling.
No.
Because he does not find anything akin to a diary. And the notes that he discovers are in several different handwritings. He actually has to write some stuff down himself to figure out what his handwriting looks like to compare.
To compare, yeah.
To figure out what notes were written by him and what are notes cribbed from somebody else.
Yeah. He starts by reading books, going through the books in his study.
Yeah. And then that devolves into going through sheafs of notes.
Yes, because he was trying to figure out, he's decided to narrow his focus of learning and figure out what it was he was doing right before he blew himself up and lost his memory.
Yeah, that partly stems from the fact that he can't find any meticulous notes about the plan.
Right.
And so he's like, well, maybe I can like retrace my steps and at least figure out what it was that I was doing.
And logically, for anyone who isn't a dark wizard, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Except dark wizard. So, he's dealing with some like spooky things that probably are better left untouched.
Yeah. And spoiler alert, he is. But
yeah.
What he pieces together is basically there's a summoning circle on the ground. So he was probably in the process of summoning, most likely a demon.
That's usually what you summon.
And indeed, eventually kind of pieces together that he seems to have been summoning a knowledge demon named Estegoth.
It's either Estegath or Estegoth. I'm not sure how to say it.
Either way.
Either way. Is a knowledge demon.
Who seems to have knowledge about stuff. Now, the problem is when Gav woke up in a fugue state, freaking out, things on fire, he accidentally smudged a bunch of the runes. So he's trying to piece together what they are, and he manages to find most of them, but then unfortunately also seems to have put out the fires with some of those papers.
So in the first chapter, when he wakes up and bumbles about and knocks things over and puts out small fires, he kind of used his notes to do that and ended up losing some important bits of information.
So at this point, he decides to take a little break. And while kind of considering himself in the mirror, decides, you know what? I was given the names of 2 other dark wizards who might be able to clue me in on what's going on if I play things cool. I'm going to call one of them. So he decides to call up Valevna. And she pops right on the horn as soon as he calls her up.
Ugh,
and she is...
She is your stereotypical sorceress.
Yeah, she's full evil Lynn.
Yeah. She is voluptuous and beautiful and terrifying. Like that whole stereotype.
And Gav's whole brain basically just falls right out upon seeing her. And the thing is, this is not unusual for Gav. So the good news is, doesn't set her off that anything is unusual because he's just immediately like, buh.
Well, and we learned this with the princess, that he is bad at words when met with pretty lady.
Yeah.
She
kind of like rolls her eyes and is like, what are you calling about? And he forces himself to like look up into her eyes and then is able to carry on a conversation. And weirdly, this is something that is unusual and actually twigs her a little bit.
Yeah. And he successfully fakes his way through this conversation like a real person.
Yeah. The beauty of this is that because he's dealing with someone he's suspicious of, but who is equally suspicious of him playing dumb, and I mean, he's playing dumb
out of necessity,
comes across as him being cagey and hedging, not giving up too much. And so she actually kind of respects it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like she legitimately, by the end of the conversation, is like, hey, if you can be this charming and interesting, you should call me up more often. Which just immediately makes him go, buh again.
Yeah.
But at any rate, he does manage to fish a little bit of information out of her.
And I am strongly under the impression now that Gav is smarter than Gavrax was. In some respects.
Gavrax may have been blinkered by being evil is going to be a weird thing for me to say.
Yeah.
Gav, having taken a step out of himself, has perspective now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he even on a couple occasions in this chapter and in some of the previous ones is critical of Gavrax. To the point where he's considering I think this guy thought he was smarter than he is. I think this guy thought that he was more respected than he is. I think this guy might have been an idiot.
Maybe. Based on all the interactions around him, he was all just temper and terror.
Yeah.
As opposed to being actually intelligent and therefore scarier.
He was feared, but he wasn't respected.
Yes, exactly.
Is kind of where Gav falls on it.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's a little kind of sad about that. He's a little affronted, actually, by that revelation on his own behalf.
Yeah. The behalf of himself that he does not know.
Yeah.
Right.
At any rate, he does, as I mentioned before, manage to fish a little bit of information out of Valevna. Number one, she is in a different kingdom.
Yes.
Which strongly implies that what is going on is a global or at least regional project.
Yeah, it's a big, wide thing.
Yeah. Number 2, she is apparently harvesting demon seed.
Ew. Yes, that means what you think it does. Ew.
She has been on the horn with the lower planes, and that's what she's been trying to do. So she's actually like, you got it pretty easy with the princess.
Which leads me to believe that Gavrax was given the quote-unquote easy job for a reason.
Yeah, he might have been saddled with the job that they could afford for someone to screw up.
Right?
Yeah.
Eek.
She also reveals that she doesn't trust Zarkanar. Nobody really trusts Zarkanar.
No, not really.
And the implication that she gives across is that he wouldn't be working with them if he didn't need to.
Right.
That this is an alliance of necessity for some larger scheme. And when Gav kind of soft pedals, like, should we like maybe have a little alliance of our own, maybe against Zarkanar in case things turn south, she's not willing to say yes, but she explicitly does not say no.
Agreed.
And Gav instantly realizes that this is just her hedging her bets.
Yeah.
Not willing to commit either way, but at the very least, it makes him go, okay, well, I have a potential ally if it comes to that.
Maybe.
He doesn't trust her.
And I'm sure the feeling is mutual.
But he recognizes that she could be on his side if Zarkanar makes a move, if things go south.
This sort of feels like the enemy of my enemy situation. Like, hey, we both hate the same guy. Let's work together, maybe.
The enemy of my enemy is me?
It could be.
Yeah. And that's pretty much where that conversation goes. And she cuts it off and he's like, okay. So he goes back down to dinner.
Second dinner with the princess.
And is very surprised when the princess shows back up.
Yeah. I appreciate that he gave her the option to come to dinner. Like, she doesn't have to.
No, and
she could stay in her cell and do, like, a prisoner hunger strike or something. But
yeah.
She doesn't. She comes up to dinner.
Indeed. They get served the same thing.
Her meat is pre-cut this time.
With no accompaniment. And he's like, I might need to have a chat with the kitchen. Like, the steak is good, but...
It's just steak.
Like, we could have maybe a salad.
Some potatoes.
Maybe some chicken tomorrow. Something different. I'll have a talk with the kitchen. Things are a little icy at first, and then she kind of breaks the silence by asking him, like, so what turns a man to evil, basically?
Yeah, those aren't her exact words, but that's basically it.
What fills a man's heart with evil? And he doesn't have a good answer for her.
Oh, there is so much to unpack in this scene. Oh.
Yeah, because he doesn't know.
And in all honesty, based on the fact that she started the conversation after X amount of silence, right? If he was able to, because I think he's willing to, but if he was able to answer her honestly, I think they might have actually had a conversation and maybe even made some kind of connection. Because she does seem at least open to conversing with him.
See, on the one hand, I kind of agree with you, but on the other hand, I kind of disagree because of the nature of her question. I think she was needling him.
Maybe.
Trying once again to present herself as slightly haughty, like, oh, what brought you to be evil? And he's just like, because he doesn't have an answer.
He genuinely doesn't know.
Instead, he decides to try to like probe a little bit on her and like casts a truth-seeing spell.
Yeah, which he just knows, I guess, deep down.
Well, number one, he's just spent most of the morning rereading a bunch of notes.
Yes, fair point.
Which has reminded him of a lot of spells. He actually explicitly says that earlier on. But something's pushing against him, and he gets curious, so he gets up real close and realizes that she's wearing a glamored ring.
Yeah.
And so...
makes her a little more beautiful than she is.
Yeah, he yanks it off, and she gets just a little less beautiful. And to be clear, she's still good looking.
Oh, yeah.
By any measure.
Yeah.
She's just not, like, gloriously good.
Her hair is not as golden. Her figure is not as slim. Her skin is not quite as clear.
Yeah, she goes to a mere 9 as opposed to a 10.
Yeah.
And she's like, how dare you? And he's like, what is happening? Why is this? And his first instinct is, you're a body double. You're someone
you're fake.
who is there to be a decoy, and she immediately leans into that and is like, yes, you've seen through my ruse.
Haha, I am not the princess, better let me go.
But because he's standing so close, he can just tell she's lying.
Yeah.
And is like, no, you're really the princess. What is going on? And she kind of sighs and admits that she's from this family of supermodels.
Yeah.
All the way down. Her siblings are all supermodels. Her parents are all supermodels. And she is slightly less good looking than them. And it was unacceptable.
This breaks my heart. Because she's been wearing that ring since he was 8 years old.
Yep.
What a horrible thing to do to a child.
Gav even thinks it's a horrible thing to do to a child.
Because it's a horrible thing to do to a child.
Like, his immediate reaction is like, that sucks. He doesn't say that to her.
No, but he thinks it really loud.
Partly because she's still like, you're my enemy, and she's making some barbs at him. And so he jams the ring back on her finger, is like, keep that on. Don't ever take it off again. And he recognizes that's just a mean, hurtful thing to say.
It was.
Yeah.
It was like he is leaning into evil dark wizard territory right there because that was basically cruel.
But at the same time, he also like feels kind of bad for her.
Yeah. And again, this is very much this battle of wills between the two of them, right?
At the moment, yes.
And points both sides, really. 'Cause,
he concedes that she probably won the argument.
Yeah, I know. But she starts with something, and then he fights back, and then, yeah, right? He did deal a blow to her, even if she won.
Yeah. Now, before we get into the last part of the chapter, may I do some rampant, irresponsible speculation?
Sure.
One part of Zarkanar's evil scheme involves a captured princess from this blessed, beautiful bloodline. Another part involves harvested demon seed.
Oh, yeah, you want to put those two and two together?
Yeah.
Because it seems kind of obvious to me.
Someone trying to breed themselves some demon spawn, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
It's possible.
I mean, that's where my brain went.
That's also where my brain went, unfortunately.
That
and
2 plus 2, right?
And I think Gav would be very opposed to that idea.
The problem is, I'm worried about what the third part is.
Yeah. We don't know. And that could completely change the shape of what this is.
Maybe. At the moment, that's what it looks like to me.
But at the moment, that's also what it looks like to me, yes.
Right? Yeah.
So Gav, leaving dinner, decides, okay, you know what? I need answers. And clearly, the way I'm going to get answers is by summoning this knowledge demon who has knowledge, who apparently I was talking to before I lost all my memories. So he pieces together the last rune that he needs because it wasn't damaged so much that it's unreadable.
Well, it was a big smudge, right, from when he was flailing around.
And then while his courage is still screwed up, he summons Estegoth.
And they have a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, Estegoth is just like all Slenderman-y with a giant grin, looking super creepy and evil.
The book was very descriptive.
Oh, yeah.
I tried not to picture it anyway.
I got a pretty good mental image.
Just all teeth. That's all I've got is just teeth.
Lots of teeth.
So many teeth.
And is like, hey, are we having another conversation? What's going on here? And Gav is like, okay, so I summoned you before. And Estegoth is like, yeah, I don't answer questions without getting something in return. That's kind of the deal.
Well, and he opens with, I seem to have lost my memories. And the knowledge demon is like,
Yeah, are we renegotiating our deal then? And Gav is like, oh.
We had a deal, did we?
So this is actually pertinent information that Gav doesn't necessarily get to digest in this moment. It's possible he traded memories for something.
I mean, maybe? Or
he got bilked in
I was going to say, or Gavrax isn't very smart.
And Estegoth took advantage of him.
Yeah.
Because Estegoth absolutely takes advantage of him again here.
I kind of sort of think that is what it was.
Most likely. Because again, we're under the impression that Gavrax was not as competent as he believed he was.
Correct.
Yeah. So Estegoth is like, I'll tell you what you want to know, but I'm going to need a sacrifice.
We need some blood.
Or give me knowledge. Give me more of your memories. More of your delicious memories. Nom, nom, nom. I'll tell you anything you want to know. And Gav is like, that seems like probably not a great idea.
Also, I don't have any more memories to give you.
Yeah. So I guess blood it's going to be. So he gives him what he says like a thimble worth of blood.
I think that's what it was, a thimbleful.
And Estegoth is like, we'll see what that buys you. And he slides it over and Estegoth laps it up and then is like, so here's what I'm going to tell you. When you pass blood over the summoning circle, it breaks the enchantment. That's a piece of information that I had stolen from you, by the way. So you're welcome for getting that back. And then Gav is like, I'm in danger. Yeah. And that's where the episode ends.
Right? It's basically the demon starts to move out of the circle and Gav runs for his life.
Yeah.
End of chapter.
More or less.
So I'm real curious about how the next one's going to start.
Well, it's going to start with him having to banish a demon.
Right? Him being just running through the halls being like, oh no. Oh no, demon, run, 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 run.
So that's where we're at. So it seems likely that Estegoth is responsible for Gav's amnesia.
Oh yeah, clearly.
We don't know 100%, but we can surmise. And it's possible that Gav was trading knowledge for something and has an important piece of knowledge that he might not even realize he has because he doesn't have the context for it now. Mm-hmm. Or Estegoth just took advantage of him because he was an idiot.
It could have been that as well.
Yeah.
Both of those seem equally as likely to me.
Yeah. So I guess maybe we'll find out more next chapter.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it there. You'll want to read up on chapter 4 in time for next week. In the meantime, of course, as always, you can give us a little rating and a review.
Oh, yes, please, because we always appreciate that.
Yeah. You can also reach out to us on social media.
Oh, by all means. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Goodreads, and Blue Sky. Not in that order. We are at The Read Along on most of them.
Yes, you can also send us an email.
Oh, yes, please. That's the best way. You can reach us at thereadalong@gmail.com.
And with that said, as always, we love you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Demon, run, 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 run!
Thank you for joining us on The Read Along with your hosts, Anita and Scott Bourgeois. All Read Along music is by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. Cover art is by Aaron Beaver. Be sure to join us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at The Read Along, and check out our group on Goodreads.com.